All right, guys, welcome back, man, to the Graham Sports Network pregame show, episode 5. Thank you guys for tuning into this one. Got a lot in store on this episode, or it's kind of going to be same kind of setup, but the big one, man, what a game Friday night was against Union. We're going to sit down with Coach Sparks and talk a little bit about that game. But if you showed up, man alive, you were not disappointed. Like I mentioned last week, those two teams always put on a battle and always put on a show. So, congrats to the G-men going 4-0. Got the VHSL rankings coming out, the Region 2D rankings coming out here, and probably, I think, maybe less than a week from when you guys see this episode. So we're looking forward to getting those out. I think probably going to be Graham and Ridgeview at 1 and 2 as of this point. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, Graham will be number one in the region by the time the rankings drop. Graham has another First Southwest District game on Friday against Virginia High. We're going to talk about that one a little bit, and we'll go through Graham High sports and talk to Coach Mitchum and Coach Palmer, and then run through the region on everything. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoy this episode. Okay, so the big news. I actually had just packed up all my stuff, and I got a text. The golf team won the Southwest District tournament. Congrats to you guys. Also, a special congratulations to Bailey Goodson for being the Southwest District Player of the Year. Congrats to you, young man. Congrats to the golf team. Congrats, Coach Hill. Congrats, Coach Taylor. Congrats to everybody at Graham High School Golf. Bringing a couple more trophies back to Graham High School, which is I don't think that's ever a bad day when we bring trophies back to this school. So congrats to you all. Big shout out to you guys. We'll put up the graphic. We'll put up the scores that we have that they had. So McCartney Hinkle with the low score of the day. Congrats to him as well. All the way around. Congrats, guys. And best of luck to you all in the region tournament, which will take place next week. We wish you guys the absolute best. We want to also give a shout out to the competition cheer team, picking it back up right where they left it. State championship last year. The Viking Voyage competition this past Saturday, another first place finish. So congrats, ladies. Congrats to Coach Mitchum. Congrats to Coach Plott. Congrats to the ladies. Congrats to Graham High School competition cheer team. Keep it rolling, man. Keep going. You got another one this week. We wish you guys the best of luck. And just keep on going. Congrats to them again. A lot of good things happening in Graham High School athletics. So let's keep it rolling, guys. All right, so we got Coach Sparks back on the show with us. Going to talk a little bit about Week 4's win over Union, and then we'll get into the Virginia High game a little bit. That Union game, man, wow.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts?
I've been around football a long time, coached for over 20 years, and that's one of the best atmospheres, one of the most exciting games I had seen in a long time that I can remember for a high school game. I mean, it was a great game, great atmosphere.
Yeah. It was my first time there too. And they also do have good hot dog chili, so I don't know if you got to have any of that. But yeah, they had talked about the whole entrance and how they don't warm up there; they warm up a couple miles away. It's cool tradition.
Pretty cool tradition, very cool.
Yeah. So Coach Palmer had mentioned last week in the interview. He said, typically between this game, the more physical team wins. And I don't spend a lot of time on the sideline of football games, but it was physical.
Very physical. I think probably the first half, maybe they were a little more physical than we were. But we come out in the second half, and I mean, there were some monster hits.
Yeah.
We were very physical that second half.
Yeah. I saw a tweet from Tim Hayes, and he said, I think Graham allowed 170 yards in the first half or something north of that. And then the second half, 1 first down and 0 yards. Defense came to play.
Yeah, defense all year. I mean, I don't think they've given up 170 yards the whole season.
Yeah.
They just kind of got off. Sometimes you get in a game, you get a little bit of a bad start, and the momentum that's a little bit where they were. But even the touchdown that they gave up, if you were there to see it, it was a busted play.
Yeah.
Quarterback scramble. You know, it wasn't a designed quarterback run. It kind of was just one of them busted plays, and we kind of over pursued it.
Yeah.
And that's the only TD we've given up all year.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. And then I know the second half, I thought we started getting some chunks on a lot of our runs. And then I guess it was Gabriel Lilly that scored that final touchdown. And shout out also, let's say shout out Dylan Nash for kicking that extra point. I don't think he's getting enough love for kicking that extra point.
A lot of pressure. I mean,
no joke. Yeah.
You know, the Union kid missed his beginning of the game, and a lot of times you don't pay any attention to it. But this game, that extra point ended up being the difference.
Yeah, it was. So, great game. I know they got Gate City, I'm sure. I mean, typically, that game decides who's won in the region, and then we typically see them again in the playoffs. So,
yeah, there's a good possibility we'll see them again.
Yeah. All right. So with the Virginia High game, I know you got some stats over here. I believe Virginia High is 2-2. What do you know about Virginia High?
Yeah, 2-2. Their losses come to Radford and Ridgeview, which are, it's pretty good teams.
Yeah.
Ridgeview had been putting up a lot of points.
Yeah.
And Virginia High held them to 21 last week. So some of the stats here, their three big threats on offense are seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So, we played them last year. You could see some shades at times.
Yeah.
Like they were getting things together. These three kids are seniors. They got a sophomore quarterback who's kind of a dual threat. He's got 538 yards through the air, and he's rushed for right at 100 yards as well. And he actually had 76 rushing yards last week against Ridgeview. So he's kind of a bit of a dual threat. Running back, his name's Elijah Brooks, 75 carries for 368 yards. He's averaging right at 5 yards a carry. That's pretty big chunks. He's a senior. And then you got two receivers, one Logan Sagel. He is first team all-region defensive back. So he's got right at 200 yards receiver. And then they got Keyshawn Smith, another senior, who is at 286 yards receiving. So, they're pretty balanced.
Yeah.
A lot of seniors on the team.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely an improvement from the team last year that we saw. So, we'll see weather. I think this Friday's probably going to end up playing in the factor. But,
a little wet out there.
They
got some skill position guys.
They do.
Yeah. So I've been impressed with our D line, especially and our front seven on defense. I feel like they're kind of living in the backfield a lot.
Yeah, in today's high school and in today's game period, you see all these spread offenses and everybody's putting up big points.
Yeah.
And we've gave up one touchdown all year.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And the offense is starting to, kind of get a little bit of its identity. And, like I say, though, defense wins a lot of ball games for you. And we have done that so far this year.
Yeah. So. Hope we can keep it rolling.
Yep.
So we got these little helmets here. And someone sent this to you. Talk about these little helmets.
Yeah. So we got a couple guys here that are just football fans in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And they donated. This is the Southwest District helmets. They donated those to us. If these are the little bitty ones, they kind of use them for more of like a Christmas tree ornament type thing, or whatever you want. They're pretty cool. And then they got mini helmets as well.
Yeah.
So, they sell these things in sets.
Yeah.
You can get the whole Southwest District set. You can just get your favorite team. They can do custom stuff. But, if that's something you guys if anybody that's watching is interested in, give us a shout out and we'll put you in contact with the guys that you need to talk to. But, we're grateful and thank you guys for donating those to us so we can have them up here kind of on the set. So,
yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So, Coach, thank you for coming on, talking about the Union game and leading up to the Virginia High game this week. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, so we want to give a special shout out before we get into the next segment. Shout out to Andrew Scruggs, attorney at law. We'll put all of his information over on this side this time. So reach out to him if you have any legal needs. I think we got his his name on here, attorney at law. I think we got his website on here, and his phone number. So be sure to reach out to him. Any legal needs. Shout out Andrew Scruggs, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for sponsoring these videos. All right, so running down the week 4 scores from around the region. First off, we'll start talking about the Southwest District. Like we mentioned last week, and still to this week, we have 2 remaining undefeated teams. We got Graham and Lebanon, both at 4-0, both with wins last week. Obviously, Graham 7-6 over Union. I'm sure you guys have heard about that one. Union falls to 2-2. Lebanon 46-0 over Castlewood, as Castlewood moves to 0-4 on the year. Tazewell with a 51-7 win over Fort Chiswell, bringing Tazewell to 2-1. Virginia High with a 21-7 loss to Ridgeview. Ridgeview also 4-0 over in the Mountain 7. Marion drops to 0-4 after a 34-0 loss to Gate City. And then Richlands also drops to 0-4 after a 56-6 loss to Abingdon, who moves up to 4-0 on the year in the Mountain 7. And as we shift into the Mountain 7 scores, we have Union losing to Graham 7-6. Union, that's a 2-game losing streak for them. They lost to Science Hill the week before us. And they're about to start getting into Mountain 7 play a little bit. Abingdon over Richlands. Abingdon moves to 4-0. Ridgeview over Virginia High. Ridgeview is also 4-0. Gate City moves to 3-1 on the year after beating Marion 34-0. And then Lehigh moves up to 2-1 with the 54-0 win over Pineville, who Pineville drops to 0-4. Wise Central loses to Letcher County Central 43-7, dropping Wise Central to 1-3. And John Battle, who's 0-3, had a bye week last week. So that is your week 4 scores from around the region. Okay, so for Graham High Sports, we're going to look at the next couple games, next 2-3 games for everybody. So for football, obviously this Friday, first Southwest District game of the year, headed to Virginia High. That will be at 7 o'clock. And then the following week on October 4th, they will be traveling to Marion. Volleyball has a few games next week. Monday, the 30th versus Narrows at Grand Middle School. Next Tuesday, the 1st versus Lebanon at Grand Middle School. That'll be a Southwest District game. And Thursday, the 3rd versus Marion at Grand Middle School. So Narrows and Lebanon will be JV at 6 and varsity at 7. And the Marion game will be JV at 5:30 and varsity at 7. So 3 home matches for the volleyball team next week. Golf, as I'm recording this, I have yet to hear. I'm recording this while they're at Holston Hills playing the Southwest District tournament. But regardless, they won the regular season. Congrats to them. And I'll be sure to throw up a graphic on here whenever I hear the remaining scores. But next Tuesday, October 1st, will be the Region 2D tournament at Holston Hills Country Club. I want to say they take the top 2 teams and 6 individuals to state. I'm not 100% sure when the state tournament is, but we will be sure to update you on next week's episode. And hopefully we can take a lot of players, take a lot of golfers to that state tournament here. I believe it'll be in a couple weeks. Cross country on Saturday the 28th, they head to Pikeview, West Virginia at 9 a.m. I think I'm actually going to go that one. Never been to a cross country meet, so I'm looking forward to going there and getting some pictures of our athletes and just taking it all in, and enjoying just Graham High sports all the way around. And I encourage you guys to come on out too. Next Thursday, on October 3rd, they head to John Battle for a meet at 4 p.m. And then competition cheer, Maine Alive. Got first place last week, looking to go 2 for 2. This Saturday, they got the battle at Byrd, which will be at William Byrd High School, Saturday the 28th, the day after the Graham Virginia High game. And yeah, looking forward to seeing some results on that one. We will update you guys with times. They typically don't share those times with the teams until closer to the competition day. So looking forward to getting those out to you. The following Saturday on the 5th, they head to Jefferson Forest for their third competition out of, I believe, 4 before we get into region play. So that's your scores, or I'm sorry, not your scores. That'll be your schedule for Graham Sports next week. Okay, so we want to shout out another sponsor of ours, Swamp Fox Motorsports of Princeton. We'll put all their information on this side as well today. Shout out to those guys. Thank you all. Got their website on here. I was actually looking at it a little bit earlier today. So, again, a lot of fun toys that they have. So if you're interested in any of those things, check out that website. Check out their Facebook, or even give them a call if you have any questions. So thank you to Swamp Fox Motorsports of Princeton. Thank you for coming on the show, Coach. And we'll just get right into it. Congrats on the first win of the season last Saturday.
Thank you very much.
How do you think you guys did? How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. We it was a strong start. The first competition is always kind of sets the bar of where we need to be for the rest of the year. And we also use it as a point to compare to other teams and where they're at and what kind of skills that they're pulling. So the first one's always a little scary is what we're up against, but it also helps us figure out where we need to go.
Yeah.
So awesome. It was a strong start. I think we looked back at our score from last year and we were about 40 points higher on our first one this year than we were on our first one last year. So we were pleased.
Yeah, definitely. So who helped choreograph the routine this year?
Sarah Carball. She's our choreographer. She has a really good eye for the routine and how things are laid out and can do things really quickly. So she choreographed our routine just like she did last year.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she did last year too.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the routine? I know I came to practice. It's tough.
It's tough. Right. It's very tough. We the VHSL changed our rubric this year.
Okay.
So they upped all the skills to where to get in those higher categories, you have to perform super elite skills.
Okay.
So level 5, level 6 kind of all-star skills. And luckily we have really talented athletes. Yeah. And so it's a very tough routine as far as our stunting and our tumbling. But we've worked really, really hard and it's about execution too. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you find that balance between the difficulty and the execution. Yeah. So it's tough, but it's a good routine.
Yeah. So what's been one thing you've enjoyed seeing from your team so far this year?
As usual, and I think I said this last year too, I love to just watch them bond and be a family. And I love to watch how strong of athletes they are and to come out every day prepared and perform the way they need to perform. And when it comes down to it, they do what they have to do. Yeah. But they also have some fun too and are silly and are teenage girls and they need to be that way. Yeah. So they need to have fun and they need to form a bond, but they need to work hard too. And I think they have found that balance. And,
okay, good. So what's one or two things you'll focus on going into the rest of the year?
Big thing is execution.
Yeah.
One of the biggest parts of our scoring rubric is execution. So we have to work on those wobbles in a stunt, getting our form and our technique down pat for our jumps and our tumbling passes and the energy. A big chunk at the bottom is our points for overall energy. Okay. So we have to bring that energy and get the crowd into it. So those are the things we have to focus on from here on out. And then adding a little bit every now and then, every week to make it just a little bit more difficult and a little bit more fun.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I know, because we talked about last year, you got to be perfect.
You got to be
That's
perfect.
Tough.
You got 3 minutes.
That's a little bit of pressure right there, right?
A little bit of pressure.
So explain hitting a zero or is it zero deductions?
Zero deductions.
What does that mean exactly?
So on our scoring rubric, they will take points off for things that we do wrong. So for instance, if there's a fall in a stunt, you get points off. Okay. If you step on a sign or step on a palm that's on the mat, you get points off. If there's any kind of illegal skill done, you get points off. So at competitions, at the end of the competition, you get a rubric and you get a total and a tally sheet of all the scores. And most times, most teams have a -2 or a -4. And every now and then it'll be -20 or something like that. So you always want to see that -0. That means you didn't make any mistakes. You just need to make things a little bit better at what you're doing. Okay. So you don't want to get those points off for making those big mistakes as far as technique and form and doing illegal stunts. Okay. So we did hit 0 this past Saturday, so that's pretty awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So college and NFL pick'em games. Okay. So the first game we have Virginia Tech and Miami.
This one hurts my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a Hokie, but I'm going to say Miami's going to pull that one off.
Yeah. Tech's struggling a little bit.
Yes.
Louisville and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
All right. Georgia and I actually wrote George right there. Goodness. Georgia and Alabama.
Georgia.
Okay. Illinois and Penn State.
Penn State.
All right. And then NFL, we got the Bills and the Ravens.
Bills.
And then the Seahawks and the Lions.
Lions.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. So come out Saturday, Battle at Byrd, William Byrd High School.
Yes.
Do you have times yet on that?
12:50 we perform at William Byrd High School in Roanoke.
All right. Well, congrats or good luck to you, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we want to give a shout out to Visit Tazewell County. We'll put all of their information on this side. Thank you guys for sponsoring these videos. Check them out. We put their Facebook name right here. We got their Instagram account name on here. The game day guide has been great. We've talked about the past few weeks. We'll continue to put the link to that game day guide in the comments of this video. So check that out as they highlight Tazewell County, and as well as Graham High School, Richlands High School, and Tazewell High School. So be sure to give that a look. Be sure to look at that game day, the game day guide. And so thank you to Visit Tazewell County. Thank you for sponsoring these videos, guys. All right, Coach. Thanks for coming back on, man. Just overall thoughts on the Union game.
It was a battle. I think we had some opportunities that could have really helped us extend the game or score more points, but we had some penalties. So there's things that we need to work on to try to prevent that.
Yeah. So first half, I think you led up 100 and some yards, but the second half, 1 first down and 0 total yards. What kind of adjustments did you guys make?
Well, we just started doing what we were supposed to do. But the run that they did get in the first half, it was pretty much a busted play. Quarterback pulled down and ran it. Had a guy that lose contain, and that's what happens when you got a good athlete back there, and they do, quarterback.
Yeah. What do you what's a game like that show you? When you just gotta grind out, what does it show you as a coach?
It can show you the character of the team, their willingness to fight, to not give up. But and to just overcome adversities, because we had a lot of adversity the first half. We had several penalties. We was not playing clean football, so I'm just happy the way the guys responded.
Yeah. So what's a big focus on practice this week?
Just execution. We've got to execute all the way around. I think we're solid defensively. We're giving up 1.5 points a game right now, so we just got to get more points on the board and try to extend some leads.
Yeah. So what's the overall thoughts on Virginia High?
Athletic, well coached. You got to do your job. You got to do your job on the defensive side of the ball, and offensive side, we have to execute.
Okay. Difficulties of this rain. I know everyone's talking about rain on Friday night. Any kind of difficulties hanging on to the ball? You emphasizing any of that?
Well, of course you got to hang on to the football, but both teams will be playing in it, so there's really no excuses.
Yeah. All right, keys to the game?
Don't turn the ball over, play hard defense, and execute.
All right, Coach. Good luck, man.
Go G-Man.
Okay, so as we move into week 5 of the region games, looking at these games coming up this weekend, we have Graham 4-0 heading to Virginia High, who's 2-2. Like we mentioned before, that'll be an interesting game because I know Ridgeview had been putting up some points on a lot of teams, and Virginia High held them at 21. So Virginia High, that'll be, and every game's important in football. So I'll be looking forward to that one and seeing how Virginia High stacks up with us. Lebanon 4-0 travels to Richlands, who was 0-4. Both of those are Southwest District matchups. It's Graham's first Southwest District game. Tazewell 2-1 heading to Princeton, who's 4-0. I'm sure if you're familiar with the area, you probably know Princeton's pretty dang good. They're a pretty dang good team in West Virginia. So looking forward to seeing how that one shakes out. And Marion will have a bye week this week. And in the Mountain 7, Abingdon is going to be hosting Tennessee High out of Bristol, Tennessee. That game will be at 7 o'clock. Abingdon's 4-0 and Tennessee High is 1-3. Ridgeview is 4-0 and they will be traveling to Lehigh, who is 2-1. And then we have Gate City, who's 3-1, and they will be taking on Union, who is 2-2. That'll be a game to watch from the Mountain 7. That's probably the game of the week, and the Mountain 7, if not the entire region, that one will have a lot of implications in the standings for sure. John Battle 0-3 will be taking on Patrick Henry, and then Y Central 1-3 will have a bye week this week as well. And that is your Week 5 games to look forward to over the weekend, and we'll put those updates out. Hopefully you guys enjoy those updates we put after all the games have played, and the Southwest District scoreboard. Just want to keep you guys in the loop, and so hopefully you enjoy seeing those scores from around the district, and so there's your scores from the region, or your upcoming games from the region. All right, guys, as we close out this 5th episode of the Graham Sports Network pregame show, we want to give a shout out to our 3 sponsors. Shout out to Visit Tazewell County, shout out to Swamp Fox Motorsports, and shout out to Andrew Scruggs Law Office. Thank you guys for sponsoring these videos. We sure do appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us. Another shout out to Graham Sports Network and the team, and all the students that are working hard. We got a lot of kids taking pictures and making graphics and updating or editing videos. Sophia had another great interview again with Reagan Tolley. Shout out to Stevie Sparks for editing that video for us. And I promise we're going to start throwing out some of those Graham Sports Network highlights for you guys on Facebook and all of our social media accounts, just to shine a light on them and all the hard work that they do. I know you guys enjoy hearing about them and seeing that. So got a giveaway coming up. I'm thinking we're going to give away a couple tickets for the next home game for football, or if you might be interested in some tickets to a volleyball game or any other sport, we definitely got that rolling. Or we can do that as well in a giveaway. But stay tuned. And for that one, I'm thinking on episode 6, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Maybe episode 7, because we still got a few weeks until we're home again for football. So we'll do that giveaway very soon. So stay on the lookout for that. I think that kind of wraps it up. Good luck to all of our sports teams. Safe travels to everybody. Safe travels to the fans that are going to all these different competitions. And as always, go G-Men.